renovating this house for 11 months now. We've owned it for 13 months, renovating it for 11 months, which means we're coming very, very close to 1 year of renovating. Now, we've done a lot in that time. We've knocked down the wall between the kitchen and the dining room. We've done almost an entire loft conversion, minus the carpets. We've blocked up chimneys, we've rewired, we've done new plumbing. We've completely painted the kitchen white from red, more for our mental health than anything. We've put up plasterboard. We've knocked down all of the walls on the first floor and put in new stud walls. Basically, we've done a lot. And although I'm incredibly proud of how much we've done in such a short space of time, there is definitely one thing that we've been lacking. Now, people have told us this before. We've definitely had a few comments on it as well. And it's something that we've managed to ignore for a very long time, but it's time to get on top of it and it's time to deal with. And that is the mess. Now, as I'm sure you're well aware, we are trying to do this house on as much of a budget as possible, which means that everything we knock down, we store and we keep. We have so much wood, we have old insulation, we've got bits of weird metal, we've got old screws that can be reused. We've just got so much junk. Except it's not junk, it is very important, and it's a massive part of why we've been able to do everything as cheaply as we have so far. And I know that we should be storing all of the old materials. It's the right thing to do. However, it has taken over our house. The other day I found an empty Amazon box just thrown into the middle of the lounge. Now, I know that that's not a criminal offense, but I think it's a pretty good indication of how we started to treat our house like a literal bin. We don't clean up after ourselves. We just let stuff pile up. We don't organize anything. We literally just treat this house like a building site, except it's not a building site because I've been to building sites and they are incredibly organized and tidy. So it's not a building site, it's a dumping ground. We are the dumping ground. So now that you've got all of that context, I can tell you what this entire video is going to be, and I hope that you're someone who likes organization, because you're about to watch us organize, clean, categorize our entire house. Now, we're partly doing this because we do want to get on top of everything for that 1 year mark of renovating. I do think we've done a lot of work. We've got, some rooms that can now be used for storage, and I want everything to be nice and organized. It's also because I'd love to do a 1 year renovation video, which is basically just a house tour of what a house realistically looks like after 1 year of renovating. If that is something you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below, and I will be sure to do a house tour on a year to the day that we first entered this house and started renovating. And if you'd like to be around for when that happens, please hit the subscribe button and even the bell, and you will get notified when that video is uploaded. Over the course of the last few weeks, Tom has been picking up these Tesco crates, or just like shopping crates. They're brilliant. They don't break, they're super strong, they're stackable, they can hold a lot of weight. So they really are perfect for building equipment. And we've basically now got tons of them. Enough so that we can start kind of getting rid of all those cardboard boxes that are tatty and broken and stuff spilling out, and we can really have a good organize of all of our tools and all of our stuff and all of our equipment. A few weeks back, you might have seen that I did the same thing. I sorted out some boxes, labeled them, but we only sorted out like 4 boxes, and we now have 2 rooms of building equipment, tools, junk, etc. So we're due a big clean. Also, can you imagine this is where Tom's been working every day amongst this chaos? Knowing where to start in these rooms is so impossible. And I think also because building equipment, there's so many miscellaneous items. Like, you do a box of electrics, you do a box of plumbing stuff, you do a box of nails and screws, but then there's just so much miscellaneous that it's quite hard to categorize after that.
So we won't be needing this plaster anymore because all of upstairs is plastered. So I'm going to carry this down first of all.
So I think we figure if we just get one corner section clean, we can fill a box full of building stuff. Once we're sure there won't be any more building stuff to put in that category of box, we'll stack it, and then we can keep stacking them on top of each other. We can then clean the room, and then we'll kind of reduce the stacking. So that way, if you need to get something, you don't have to go to the 7th box down. It would be like the 2nd or 3rd box down.
Every time I try to clean with water, she doesn't really know what's plumbing and what's electrics and stuff. So it's good to just kind of check everything, make sure it's all in the right boxes, because I think the number of times you put something in the wrong box by mistake.
No, it's not that. It's that I will throw stuff away, and Tom and his dad will not. Admittedly, sometimes that means I'll throw away important stuff.
Yeah, like,
but it also means our house is a tip. This.
No, but it's good for like poking holes and stuff.
And so that is actually the easy part. It's when you get to this stuff, which is too big for a box, but it's just miscellaneous and you can't throw it, but it doesn't look good anyway, you can't store it. Yeah, this is the complicated bit, but I think we've just gotta do the best we can and make it look pretty. But if you clean anything like us, we now have just as much junk that we've decided doesn't belong there and is destined for elsewhere in the house.
So now onto room number 2, and that is the bathroom. We're going to do a dump run in the next couple of weeks, so we need to get this room completely clear. It's currently got all the gas pipes running underneath it, and over Christmas we'll be working on moving the boiler, so we need access to them. And at the same time we're just going to replumb. We know where the design of the bathroom is, we know where the toilet, sink and shower is going to go, so we're just going to get that also ready for when we need to renovate this bathroom. Because Victorian houses, quite narrow stairways, we're going to divide and conquer. So Autumn's going to go upstairs and clean, I'm going to just do runs to the car and clear the bathroom so we can have a blank canvas and another room clear.
And in terms of dividing and conquering, I'm now upstairs. It was either in the last video or maybe the next video. I'm not sure how the timelines are working right now, but we recently did put up a couple of the wardrobes that are going to be in this dressing room, but we did not clean up after ourselves. So a bad habit that we need to break. Tom's definitely got the worst part of the job. This room's pretty damn clean to begin with, but I'll give it a proper sweep, put all the building stuff back into the tool room that now exists, and we will get cracking. Definitely got the, what's the opposite of the short end of the stick? The long end of the stick? But I feel like that's not an expression of things going your way. Anyway, clearly I benefited from that deal because I'm already done. Now, thankfully the hallways don't have too much that need doing. I mean, they're a hallway. How messy can you get them? But we are just gonna run on picking up rubbish, giving it a sweep, that sort of stuff. And kind of big deal task that we haven't yet done because we just kind of thought we'd mess up the floorboards, and we're pulling up the carpet. The last bit of old carpet in this whole house is going. Also, this just takes me back to the early days when the house was so unbearably dusty for such a long time. So this should be the last of it. We're not knocking down any more walls. We've got no more carpets. Hopefully that means this is the last of it. So all all of the carpets gone from the stairs, and then it doesn't look too impressive, but we did do a huge sweep of the entrance hall, and it was also filled with stuff that are now in the back of the van, either as wood or to go to the tip. That just needs to be added to the van, and that is going back to Tom's family house. So that's why those two are there, but otherwise, all clear. Now, I'm not sure how long this video is gonna be, but I don't wanna fool you. This is day 5 of cleaning. It's the 5th day of just trying to clean our house, which kind of indicates how much of a hole it was to begin with. But we've definitely saved the worst until last. Everything upstairs was a lot, but it was kind of just organization. And I know I said about things in the study being hard to organize, but in the end it wasn't terrible. This, on the other hand, is terrible. And it's terrible because the vast majority of stuff in this room is stuff that needs to stay. There's a reason it's still here. But like we learnt upstairs in the study, it's gonna look a hell of a lot cleaner if you just kind of, you know, put them into categories. And so that's how we're going to approach it. So, first up is this Red Bull fridge. Tom, how did this end up in our house?
Oh, I have my sauces.
So the story behind this Red Bull fridge is Tom works at Red Bull, if you didn't know, and he had the option of getting a Red Bull fridge, to which he said yes, never told me anything about it, and one day this arrives in the post. When it arrives in the post, Tom is very surprised that when he tells me he plans on keeping it in the kitchen because it will be great for drinks and parties, and I veto it within a second, yeah, Tom was quite surprised at that. He didn't expect me not to want this hideous Red Bull fridge in our kitchen forever. So, the Red Bull fridge, I think there was some sort of compromise of which I've still not agreed, but Tom's planning on keeping it in the study on his side. Basically because I refuse to have it in the kitchen, and Tom's family, although we haven't asked them, would probably very rightly refuse to have it in their house because who wants a Red Bull fridge? It's been sat in our lounge for a year. So I don't know where Tom's planning on moving it now.
I think you guys can agree we can keep the Red Bull fridge. It keeps cans the perfect temperature, so we are keeping it.
It's ugly. It's ugly. Straight to the tip. Wait, Tom, this way's not the tip. Tom, this isn't the tip, Tom.
I know, because we've cleaned the room now. It's not a tip anymore.
No.
Study.
No.
This is not always going to be here. It's going to be out on display.
No. Hide it away where no one can see it.
Just for now. Just
forever. Please, can you all comment telling Tom to remove it from the vicinity immediately?
Never.
Okay, we're moving the bikes into the kitchen, and now the work can commence. Okay, this side, to be honest, did not take nearly as long as we thought it would, which is great news. But we now move on to the other side of the lounge. Now, this over here is going to be the dining room. However, we've got this chimney breast where we knocked out. We need to be running new joists under there. We've got a couple of rotting joists here that we need to replace. Basically, Tom and his dad over Christmas have a lot of work to do. So that means that although this needs to be clean and tidy, yes, this side needs to be completely clear. And final job, this cupboard. So the plans at the moment are to put a full door in there for a coat cupboard. There's currently the fridge in there, but when we do our kitchen, the fridge is moving over there. And then this cupboard, we're looking at potentially getting the carpenter to do some sort of pull-out thing for, you know, the Hoover, extra stuff, the mop, and then, you know, any random games or stuff that there's no other place for. But it's not yet been plasterboarded and there's a lot of work that needs to go into it. So we need to move that out because another one of Tom and Martin's Christmas jobs or Christmas plans is to, basically get this ready, get it all plasterboarded. So we're gonna clean that out now. Also, we have been using it as a little bit of a junk drawer for a very long time. So it's probably for the best we reorganize. We are done with the cupboard. And now this room is finito. That means that Tom and his dad can get in here, get the insulation underneath, replace some of the wood there that's rotting, get the floorboards back down, and we can begin the dining room. As expected, a lot of the mess ended up here. We've got a lot of Red Bull, our bikes, you've seen it all basically. But now it just means that all of the stuff is here. Tom and his dad can grab wood when they need. That insulation's going under there. All of that wood are these floorboards. Way at the back there is offcuts of plasterboard, which is going to be what we use to plasterboard here. So as you can see, it's all useful. So it is a mess, but it's not as big as a mess, and it's an organized mess. Okay, I've got a good amount of mask face going on, so apologies for that. But when I say that Tom and his dad, or really us three, are all dedicated to getting this house done as quickly as possible now, I mean it. And to show just how serious we are about this, or just how serious Martin specifically is about this, he lives 35-minute drive away. They live in Essex, we live in East London. So usually if Tom's dad is working 2 days in a row, he'll obviously drive and then he'll go home that evening. But over the Christmas period, we have a whole other bed that we are bringing into the house on a temporary basis, so that the Sunday, for example, Martin's gonna work all day, sleep, and then be up at the crack of dawn in the house all ready to do a second day of work. So, Martin, if you're watching this, Tom and I both thank you very much for your hard work and dedication. But viewers, I thought you would find that quite funny, just how dedicated we are.
Martin, you're not a prisoner, I swear. It's just, so it saves you driving back and forth for 2 days in a row. Except if this house gets to July for my birthday and this house isn't ready for a dinner party, things might have to get serious. So yeah, as I said in a previous clip, that was 5 solid days of cleaning. In terms of weekly vlogs, that is literally what we spent this week doing. So apologies if it wasn't the most entertaining video, but I did want to show you that sometimes it just absolutely spirals out of control and we have to get on top of the house. Hopefully for some of you it was quite therapeutic. I feel like everyone has this with their bedroom, right? Once you clean your bedroom, you just feel like you've got a grip on your life again, and cleaning this house honestly feels like that times 1,000. So we're in very good spirits. I feel like it's the perfect way for the house to be as we enter kind of the holiday period. We do still have 3 weeks until the new year, so I'm really trying to dedicate these next 3 weeks on building good habits to keep the house in a good state. How that goes, we will find out in the 1-year renovation tour. I'm hoping I can stick to this. Maybe it'll be my New Year's resolution. And the main reason that we needed the house so clear is because there are really exciting things to come. So we have now had our banisters installed. We're just wrapping up on finishing and painting and all of that stuff, which means then our carpets will be installed. The kitchen is going to be installed. The back doors are going to be installed. So it needed to be nice and clear and organized because of how many cool things are coming up. So even though this video might have not been the most building heavy video, the future ones certainly will, and we were just setting ourselves up for success this week. So I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please give this video a like. And as always, if you'd like to follow along on our renovation journey, please hit the subscribe button. We upload videos every Wednesday, and when I'm ahead of the game, some Sundays too. And there's no time for relaxation. Today is the day I finish work for 2 weeks. So as soon as I finish and clock off at 6 p.m, I'll be getting started on our dressing room renovation, and I look forward to sharing that with you soon. Goodbye.